At my first 15 years as Oklahoma's head coach, it hardly seems possible that it's been that long. But as you watch this video cassette, I'm sure you'll be as impressed as I was just how many great players and experiences they have been. So sit back and enjoy this Five Alive presentation.
Barry Switzer, 15 years of championship football. In 1987, Barry replaced Bud Wilkinson as the Sooners' winningest coach. In 15 seasons, 148 wins, 26 losses, 4 ties, 12 Big 8 championships, and 3 national championships. The best winning percentage of all active coaches in college football. Barry remembers his first 3 squads with a special fondness, not to mention 2 national championships.
Oh, you got 2 national championship teams, 2 undefeated football teams, Silman brothers, a lot of great players, Joe Washington, Steve Davis, Tinker Owens, Rod Schultz, Randy Hughes, on and on and on. You know, just a great collection of talent. My first year being 73, undefeated season, should have won a national championship, missed field goal against USC. Undefeated national champions in 74. Kansas lost, ended a 38-game winning streak. Great era for Oklahoma football.
I think that I'm a winner, a fighter, and a competitor, and I believe that. Our football players that came to the University of Oklahoma, student athletes, they are that type of individual too. They wanted to come to Oklahoma because they were a champion and they wanted to play for a champion, and you can't change that.
With that philosophy, it was on to the LA Coliseum after a 42-14 opening game win over Baylor. The USC Trojans were a veteran squad, full of experience. The Sooners were young, but full of talent.
The Southern Cal game wasn't a win, but it proved that we were a very fine football team. We had beaten the defending national champions in every phase of the game, but still had to settle for a 7-7 tie.
We are a great football team. We whipped them every way, but on the scoreboard. People, you got everything to be proud of. You ought to hold your head high, because I guarantee you, those people in that next room, they can't.
After a 24-20 win over the Miami Hurricanes, it was time for Texas. The Sooners had the most productive passing performance in Switzer's first 15 years as head coach, totaling more than 200 yards through the air.
Beating Texas 52-13 in my first year as a head coach was an incredible experience.
1973 was the year 3 Selmans stood guard at the Sooners' front wall, daring anyone to trespass the family ground. Lucius, Leroy, and Dewey became instant legends in Sooner football history. It was no contest when Nebraska came to Norman. OU dominated the game, which included the most famous quarterback sneak in Barry Switzer's football era. Oklahoma 27, Nebraska 0. A 45-18 win over Oklahoma State in Stillwater ended a 10-win and 1-tie season for Barry in his first year as head coach.
Every one of you. That's a great way to go out, people. They didn't think we could do it, but we did it. And if we're going to win that national championship and get that ring that Terry Webb wants and I want and every one of you want, people, there are going to be a lot of ups and downs during this season. It's going to take 11 weeks of things not going our way most of the time, and a lot of time they will. Ups and downs. every ball game and every practice. I believe we'll go out there and jump around, cut and slash, and try to prove to everyone we've got a great football team.
The 74 Sooners handled all that came their way. The Red River War was a good example. Texas played the Sooners close, but close still resulted in a 16-13 loss to Oklahoma. Joe Washington, the earth did move under his feet. So did yards, 1,321 in 1974. Little Joe proved that you can't touch what you can't see, and you can't tackle what you can't touch. The 9-0 Sooners traveled to Lincoln to take on the other Big Red. The Huskers were ahead 14-7 in the third quarter when OU took charge. Leroy and Dewey, Choate, Hughes, Washington, Davis, Owens, Elrod and company left no doubt which Red was bigger. OU 28, the Huskers 14.
Sophomores, the juniors, but playing the best of their abilities. Those guys that never have another chance, seniors. Been some great leaders and great players played here. Accomplished is about as much as you can expect. 3 Big 8 championships, lose 1 game in their career. Opportunity today to win a national championship.
OU could not go to a bowl because of NCAA probation. The season finale was at home against OSU. Barry remembers it very well.
Our perfect season in 1974 ended with a victory over Oklahoma State. Little Joe made one of the most spectacular punt returns for a touchdown I've ever witnessed.
Possibly Oklahoma football history's most famous hit was made by junior safety Scott Hill in 1975 on Tony Dorsett as OU beat Pittsburgh 46-10. OU was undefeated, ranked number 1, and playing at home against unheralded Kansas. The result, Kansas 23, OU 3.
We were 8-0 going into the Kansas game. When it was over, we were 8-1. My first loss as a head coach and the first loss for any Sooner since 1972.
I'm going to tell you, listen to this right now. Get it by Kansas. That's behind us. We know how what happened, why we lost it. No, but let me tell you something, people. You haven't got a thing to be ashamed about. You're a great football team. You fought your guts out. Things just didn't happen for you. And then we rode that train a long time. We are a great football team, and we're getting a test right now. Get your head up, people. You've come a long way. Just think of what you people have accomplished. At the end, sometime, and I'm proud of every damn one of you. You've done a super job, every one of you.
Missouri game a week later after the loss to Kansas showed the championship desire of the 1975 squad.
Time running out. OU behind by 7. 4th and 1 at the Sooners' own 24-yard line. Sooner magic appeared in the form of Little Joe. Still 1 point behind. Steve Davis optioned OU's championship hopes to Joe again. The dream stayed alive. After taking care of Nebraska 35-10, it was time for Barry's first Orange Bowl as head coach. If OU beat Michigan, a second consecutive national crown was theirs. Orange Bowl MVP Steve Davis scored the final TD. OU 14, Michigan 6. Barry's second straight national title.
'76 was a group of young athletes. I think it started another nucleus of great talent. We had a great recruiting class the year before. Thomas Lott, sophomore, Billy Sims, sophomore, Greg Roberts, sophomore, Tabor twins, group of outstanding talent, the Cumbies, Darrell Hunts, those guys emerging as top players. We were in a kind of a rebuilding year. It was a sophomore football team in '76, and of course they became a great team in '77 and '78.
Barry took a youthful '76 squad down the ramp into the Cotton Bowl with a 4-0 record to play Texas. The Sooners scored late in the game to tie. The extra point try was not to be. Final score, OU 6, Texas 6.
Let's go. Football games are won and lost and tied with 22 players. And no one guy had anything to do with the ball game. Bad snap or anything. He feels worse about it than anybody, but we are a team. We are a team, and some other guys have done some other things that might have won the football game, but it didn't happen. We played great. We took a drive when we had to win the football game. I want you to get your heads up. It hurts, but I'll tell you what, we ain't out of it, man. They still ain't whipped you. Texas has never whipped a guy in this room.
2 weeks later, OU lost to Oklahoma State 31-24. Then it was on to Colorado. The Sooners fought the Buffs all the way, but lost 42-31.
football team I've ever seen. Things just didn't work out. It's just beat ourselves. I'll tell you what, we never quit, people. Ain't a soul out there ever quit fighting. Got everything to be proud of, except we didn't win. I'll tell you what we do. We got 3 games to play. We can come back and mess this whole thing up.
The 1976 squad fought through real adversity. The reward came on a cold day in Lincoln.
The Cornhuskers were odds-on favorite to beat OU. At first, it did not look good for Oklahoma. But in the fourth quarter, the Sooners came from behind again. Woody Shepard threw his first collegiate pass to Steve Rhodes. Then Dean Blevins threw to Rhodes, who lateraled to Elvis Peacock, who's from Miami, Florida. He made sure Nebraska would not be visiting his hometown in 1976. OU's 20-17 win gave them a share of the Big 8 crown with Colorado and Oklahoma State.
Come on, y'all, let's go now. Let me tell you. Now, hold up. Let me tell you, man, we had so many chances to win it, we never did. Right. But we never quit. And we'll tell you, the last few seconds of that ball game, the defense, 2 fourth-down situations, won us the ball game. 4th and 2. And I'll tell you, there's going to be many game balls, but the first game ball, I'm going to give to Woody Shepard. We are champions.
The Ohio State game was a classic. I'll never forget how I felt as we pulled off a miracle comeback to set up our most famous field goal in OU history.
The Sooners and the Buckeyes fought this battle of football's elite like 2 heavyweight boxers, each refusing to go down. Oklahoma scored late in the game, but still found itself down by 2. Von Schaman made an onside kick. Oklahoma recovered. Then Dean Blevins moved the Sooners down into field goal range. Uwe von Schaman, 90,000 people screaming for him to miss it. No problem. Uwe booted a 41-yard field goal right through the Buckeyes' hopes. 29-28, Oklahoma.
Well, I think Billy is one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and certainly was the greatest player to ever play at Oklahoma during my time. He had it all. He had the size, the speed, the strength, the intelligence, the mental toughness, the physical toughness. All those qualities and abilities allowed him to be the best player in the country, and he was for 2 years, and he should have won the Heisman Trophy back-to-back. There's no question about that. But it was a year that we probably should have won the national championship. 1978, we fumbled 9 times at Lincoln, lost 6 of them. We only lost 17-14, and we were the best team in the country. We beat every team we played because we were able to beat Nebraska in the Orange Bowl that year.
Barry worked hard convincing Billy Sims to play for the Sooners. OU fans will be forever grateful he succeeded in getting Billy to ease on down the road from Hooks, Texas to Norman, Oklahoma. In '78, Billy eased about anywhere he wanted to on the gridiron, piling up 1,762 yards along with 20 touchdowns. The shootout in Dallas gave Oklahomans back their bragging rights over Texans for the first time since 1975. Oklahoma 31, Texas 10.
What did I tell you last week? All the defensive players get a game ball plus the seniors.
It was cold in Lincoln, colder than usual. OU came into the game ranked number 1. 9 fumbles later, they lost 17-14.
People, when you talk to the press, the credit due them. The best football team didn't win. I know that in my heart. We beat ourselves, but no one guy did it. We did it as a team. We played good on defense, played good on offense. We made errors both ways, both ends of the field. It cost us. You're a great football team, man. We've come a long way. We still finish up in a great year. Do it with pride. Be your chin up. You don't have to duck your damn head and not look a person in the eye. You look every guy in the eye, every person you meet, every reporter. You don't have to duck your head, people, because you're winners.
Sooner magic worked its wonders again as OU got another shot at Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. The Huskers scored first, but the rest of the night belonged to Oklahoma. OU 31, Nebraska 24.
Super shot. Y'all have a lot of pride. You had a great career, all the seniors.
All right! All right, offense game ball! Game ball!
We'll give women. No, I won't do it. We'll give a game ball.
Offense
Every
money.
coach, every player played the game. Right on.
79 is the year of emergence of J.C. Watts, quarterback from Eufaula, that led us to 79 and 80 to 2 Orange Bowl championships, 2 most valuable player awards for him in the Orange Bowl back-to-back. Billy Sims' last game, Billy Sims' last touchdown was a great play, and the option play where J.C. lays out and pitches the ball to Billy down the boundary against Florida State to score his last touchdown. It was a year or 2 years, 79 and 80, that a lot of people didn't think that we would be a very good football team, but we were an excellent group. We lost a couple of games, Stanford, Elway, but we beat a good North Carolina team, and we ended up being a very good football team and only losing, I think, 3 games in that period.
Oklahoma needed every one of Billy Sims' 282 yards rushing to beat Missouri 24-22.
Gets a game ball. I'm going to tell you, Sims gets another game ball. Hey, Coach Johnson has never beaten Missouri. They played it. Hey, Nebraska!
Billy rushed for another 247 yards the next week against Nebraska for the Big 8 crown. And that's not counting this cross-country TD called back for a penalty. OU's defense was ruthless. So was J.C. Watts when he threw this strike to Forrest Valora. Sims and company sent the Huskers home hungry. OU 17, Nebraska 14.
That is the greatest Oklahoma performance it's ever been. There is the best player in America. We've got someone here from the Big 8 office, Commissioner Chuck Norris.
Captain Warren will call the toss.
Tails.
He said tails, and that's what it is. He wins the toss.
We'll take that ball.
You want the football.
I want the football.
You want to kick from that end.
All the Florida State Seminoles eventually wanted was a way out of the Orange Bowl. They had come into the game with a perfect 11-0 record. They left with one big loss for the year. Orange Bowl Most Valuable Player J.C. Watts pitched to Sims as number 20 scored his last touchdown as a Sooner. OU 24, Florida State 7.
Up again. You call it the air, please. All right. Heads. All right. Did you understand that he called heads, Nebraska? And it's tails. So Nebraska wins the toss. You may kick or receive or defend either goal.
Barry took the Sooners to Lincoln in 1980, ready to battle it out against Nebraska again for the Big 8 crown. The Huskers took the lead early in a game they were favored to win. With time running out in the game and behind 17-14, OU almost lost all hope for a comeback. But they recovered the fumble. And from there, J.C. Watts engineered the wishbone downfield. He used talented freshman Buster Rhymes most of the way. This was Switzer's fourth trip to Lincoln as head coach, and for the third time, Nebraska's Tom Osborne watched as Barry's bunch came from behind to win. This time, it was OU 21, Nebraska 17. Nebraska had said OU would enjoy the Mexican food in El Paso at the Sun Bowl. Guess again.
I want to know one thing. Are there any good Mexican restaurants in Miami?
The comeback in the Orange Bowl was just as dramatic. With time running out, J.C. Watts passed to Forrest Valora for a 2-point conversion and an 18-17 win over Florida State.
Well, they were the down years. If you slide from the top, only your 8 and 4 seasons during that period of time, it was our non-conference opponents were very good. We weren't as good. We were young. We weren't quite as talented in the backfield and skilled positions, and we kind of got away from some things we were believing in. It was during the Marcus Dupree era. Marcus ran off a few backs, then he left, and we ended up with just a couple here, and we were having to move them around from week to week. Spencer and Earl Johnson were freshmen, and we were having to play them. And
perhaps the biggest game of the '81 season was also the biggest disappointment. Oklahoma met eventual Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Allen and the USC Trojans in the Coliseum. The Sooners led for much of the game. However, OU fell one play and 2 seconds short of beating the Trojans. Southern Cal 28, OU 24.
We learn from this. One thing I worried about defeat is that even if we get beat, we can become a football team from today, because we proved to USC and the nation Oklahoma is a hell of a football team. We're young. We will get better every week. We'll take it. The way things happen, we might play for it again, national championship.
In 1982, OU ended a 3-year drought in the Cotton Bowl with a 28-22 win over the Longhorns.
I formation, 2 wideouts. Here's the pitch. Here's the fake reverse. The handoff to Dupree. Breaks the tackle. 40, 45, 50, open field. 45, 40. Goodbye, Marcus. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. The miracle freshman Marcus Dupree sends one half of the Cotton Bowl into hysteria as Marcus has numero uno.
It's also the game which brought star status to running back Marcus Dupree.
Big hole up the middle, 50, open field, 45, Ledbetter, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Weldon Ledbetter, Jiminy Christmas, the big bomb is killing the Longhorns this afternoon. Mossy Cage could not catch up with Weldon Ledbetter. Down in 7, back to throw, back is 45, the ball is knocked loose, it's fumbled, Oklahoma recovers.
First of all, we have had great leadership the last 2 weeks. We've had players that want to win, that have emerged. I'm telling you, man, this is an all-time victory right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give the offensive team game balls.
The brightest spot of the '83 campaign came a week after Marcus Dupree left OU. The Sooners staged another miracle finish. Down 20-3 with 10 minutes left, OU came back against Oklahoma State, and it came down to a walk-on freshman named Tim Lasher. OU 21, OSU 20.
We overcame more in this football game than any team I've ever seen. We never quit. Our defense, I mean, they should have never scored on us. We tried to give it to them, and they couldn't take it. We have got to quit playing like this. Let's play good. Play good. Let's play. Super job.
I think '84 was the emergence of a good defensive football team. I had players redshirted that I thought that would be much better than we were in '81, '82, and '83, and they proved that. That was the birth of a great mid-'80s great defensive football teams, and I think that that's what I think back on. I don't think we were a great offensive team by any means. In '84, we were a team that didn't beat ourselves. We lost to Kansas because Danny Bradley was hurt, and we ended up in the Orange Bowl and won another Big 8 Conference championship. But it was the '84 gave birth to the great teams that followed.
Defense. Speed, quickness, aggressive. Chase the ball. Make things happen. We have a great day offense. We have a great day offensive line. Put our backs on the open field. poise. Keep your poise. Turn it loose. Great game plan. Great preparation. Coach has done a super job with you. Offensively, defensively. Best prepared team we've ever taken into this game. We're the best team. Be walking down the
The '84 Sooners knew adversity up close and personal. They also knew how to overcome it. In a rain-soaked Cotton Bowl, OU managed to erase a 10-point halftime deficit. But the officials made two big mistakes OU could not overcome. A fumble not called. An interception not allowed. OU had earned the win. Texas was given the tie. 15-15. The absence of quarterback Danny Bradley helped Kansas come away with a 28-11 win over the Sooners. More adversity, another mountain to climb.
Our coaches believe in you. We're not going to quit on you. We don't want you to quit on yourself. You can't do that in this game. You got to come back next week, and play. Give great effort. Practice hard. You got our back to the wall. Hell, we can come back and win it again, man.
Barry was right. Again, it came down to OU Nebraska for the Big 8 championship.
National television against Texas. We're the best team. We're the best team today. Play with class. No blocked extra point, no blocked field goals. Every point is going to count. It's big. Man, this is what you come home to play for.
Just like in the Texas game, Barry watched his defense stage another fourth-quarter goal line stand, this time against Nebraska. It led to a 17-7 win over the Huskers, the Big 8 championship, and OU's first trip to the Orange Bowl since 1980.
Second half, you had to believe. You had to believe. Because, man, we didn't help ourselves much. We didn't help the defense. Terrible field position. Couldn't make first downs. And all of a sudden, we make a play. Make a play. We score. Get it in. But I'm going to tell you something, man. That goal line stand just like the Texas. Once in a lifetime, you did it twice. Against the #1 team in the country both times. Instead of one game ball defense, you get 2 game ball.
Well, 85 was I've always said that the good things in life probably come when you least expect them, and I think that that was the year that we least expected to win a national championship. Troy Aikman, our starting quarterback, was hurt, broke his leg. We had to play with a true freshman, but we became a very good football team and played with tremendous intensity, enthusiasm. We were a young football team that was very, very talented, and we were good enough to win a national championship.
OU-Texas edition can be described in 2 words: Oklahoma's defense. The Horns were stymied all afternoon. Patrick Collins gave OU the second Sooner TD. That's all they needed. OU 14, Texas 7. The Miami Hurricanes came to Norman the next week. After a brilliant first quarter, Troy Aikman suffered a broken leg before halftime. Freshman Jamel Holloway replaced Troy. Vinny Testaverde led the Hurricanes to a 27-14 win.
Encouraged, man. I am encouraged by our offense. I tell you, I really am. We took the football and we moved the football on. Mistakes kept us from controlling the football. I'm encouraged by our football team. Mayo did a heck of a job, went out there, took them 74 yards, made some things happen in our wishbone offense. We have got a situation of winning the Big 8 conference.
Another Husker-Sooner showdown, another Big 8 championship to be decided.
I know what it means to every senior in this room. I know what it means to everybody else. So we got to go out and play our game and make them hurt.
By the time Nebraska came to Norman, the wishbone was unbreakable. Keith Jackson had a phenomenal performance. 3 carries for 136 yards, including this 88-yard touchdown. Jamel Holloway proved OU's only true freshman to ever start at quarterback could do the job very well. Only a late Sooner offensive miscue prevented the shutout. Oklahoma 27, Nebraska 7. It would be known as the Ice Bowl. Oklahoma found an ice rink on Lewis Field when they arrived. Oklahoma State found out OU knew how to skate. They did it very well in the frozen tundra called Stillwater. Tim Lasher booted 2 field goals to support OU's touchdown, the only TD of the night. The Cowboys' only movement was backwards. OU 13, OSU 0.
Took the score so we had a chance to put it in the end zone. Great job. I don't care what you hit with a frozen foot. We got the ball away. We protected great. Did everything. Lasher hit the field goals. Super job. You're champions, undisputed champions of the Big 8.
OU versus Penn State for the Orange Bowl championship and now the national championship, since Tennessee had beaten Miami in the Sugar Bowl. The Nittany Lions were undefeated. That was about to change. Holloway to Jackson was one of the big scores of the night. Four Tim Lasher field goals set an Orange Bowl record. The Sooner defense set Penn State on its back. And Lydell Carr put it all away. OU 28, Penn State 10.
I got to tell you something, man. I'm going to tell you something that, you know, it's a team game. It's a total team effort and team game. But I'm going to tell you something. This, personally, to me, is something I didn't talk to y'all about, and I talked to our coaches about. This ball game, I want you to listen to this. This ball game, I knew we were going to win. Because the time Bud Wilkinson became head coach, he coached 154 games. At the end of that 154 games, his record was 126, 24, and 4, and 3 national championships. Through 153 games, our record was 125, 24, 4, 2 national. Tonight, we tied Bud Wilkinson.
Well, I think we're disappointed because we wanted to win a national championship. We lost to Miami in '86. We beat Arkansas in the Orange Bowl, and we went 11-1. We lost one game to Miami, and ended up number 3 in the country. It was disappointing. In fact, we won a national championship, but I don't think it could be disappointment for record. We won a national championship the year before with 11-1 record, so our record was just as good, and we were probably a better team in '86 than we were in '85.
The defending national champions were expected to be tested in the opener. They weren't. UCLA never a threat to upset OU in this game. It was possibly the finest season opening performance by a Switzer squad. OU 38, UCLA 3.
Great team effort. That's what Terry Donahue said. He said, men are too big and too strong to play with that football team.
Miami played host to OU in the 3rd game of the season. Eventual Heisman Trophy winner Vinny Testaverde had another outstanding game against the Sooners. Miami 28, Oklahoma 16.
I want to tell you something. Defense, you are gutsy much a son of a guns. I'll tell you what, I'm so damn proud of you. That was a great effort. Bosworth taking place at the 3-yard line right at the end of the ball game, chasing all the field, whole defense. Reed, Troy Johnson, Ricky Bryan, not a player quit. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. We didn't help you enough on offense. We destructed, but you're a hell of a football team. A lot of class, a lot of character. I'm proud of you. I'd rather be here than all of Hey, we'll be back. We got too much character, too much pride.
The Texas game helped ease the disappointment of losing to the Hurricanes. nothing like a domination over Longhorns to lift spirits. Sooners 47, Longhorns 12.
You'll never have many days like this over University of Texas. Enjoy it. Big 8 Conference. For the last 14 years, we win today. We'll have won 11 Big 8 Conference championships. Everybody reading Southwest Conference, they talk about Texas in the last 10, 12 years has won 2 Southwest Conference. Houston 3. A&M finally won them 1 in 18 years. People don't know what it is to be champions. Oklahoma invented it.
The OU defense continued a season of domination against the Buffaloes. OU 28, Colorado 0.
Got a chance to win 600. Oklahoma's 600th win today. And I don't know, sometimes you take for granted when you're in the family and a part of it, you don't know what it looks from the outside. With all the respect that people have around the country of Oklahoma football. That's a lot of responsibility. Nebraska will have some success. Got to keep our poise.
With less than 5 minutes left, the Huskers were ahead 17-10. Nebraska fans thought surely it would not happen again. They were wrong. Holloway to Derek Shepard. Holloway to Keith Jackson for the tie. Holloway to Jackson again. Tim Lasher in to make the long Nebraska winter even longer again. OU 20, the Huskers 17.
You gotta believe, man. We've done this to them so many times, they believe it's gonna happen, and we know it's gonna happen. Keith Jackson.
Best of them.
The Sooners celebrated their 3rd straight Orange Bowl appearance by stuffing the Hogs. Spencer Tillman wrapped up his Sooner career scoring twice. OU 42, Arkansas 7.
We were a good, very good football team, 11-0 regular season, lose to a great Miami team. I think that that it was one of the better teams that we've had. 87 possibly could have been, was much better than 85 national championship team talent-wise and experience and all. But as I said, those good things in life come when you least expect them. And many times I've thought that I had a better team that didn't win a national championship than the ones that did win national championships. 78, for example. 78 was a great, talented football team. I had 4 first-round draft choices in the backfield: Peacock, Sims, Overstreet, King, Thomas Lott, quarterback, an outstanding array of talent. We were a dominant team, but we beat ourselves.
They're a good football team. We're the best team. Regardless of what happens during the ball game, what the score is, we keep doing what we do, believe in what we do, keep doing it, we'll win the football game. I want to give to our seniors from Texas a game ball that says they never lost to Texas. They never lost to Texas. We have 8 starters on defense from Texas, 5 seniors. 5 seniors on that group. Never lost to Texas.
I toss it, you call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll
seniors made sure they could say they never lost to Texas. The defense tied a school record 7 interceptions. A lot of Sooners got a taste of how the Red River battle really felt, especially when you win. Redshirt freshman Charles Thompson was one of them. OU 44, Texas 9.
That defense turned over 31 points the second half. Defensive play, turnovers, interceptions. When we had to have them come off the goal line, Ricky Dixon, everybody. Who the hell didn't catch one out there? Everybody. Great defense, man. Super job. Hey, take care of business the rest of the way. We've got a great football team. Game balls, it'll go to everybody that asks you to pass, plus the seniors from Texas. You never lost to Texas. Wait a minute.
Against Oklahoma State, Barry found himself having to move Thompson into the starting lineup when Jamel Holloway went down with a season-ending knee injury. OU's defense was offensive, scoring twice. Sooners 29, Cowboys 10.
87 Nebraska game was a game that didn't require Sooner magic. It was a game that didn't require luck. It didn't require the jinx. They were ranked #1 in the country. We hadn't played well. We had lost Jamel Holloway. We were starting a freshman quarterback named Charles Thompson. The situation was 1 versus 2. They were a touchdown favorite. They were predicted to beat us handily by their players, their fans. We dominated the game, offensively and defensively. From start to finish, Oklahoma was the best team on the field. It was evident to everybody, and they were fortunate that the score was only 17-7. It could have been easily in the 20s or the 30s had we not held on to the football.
Holloway was out. Even Switzer was in a cast from knee ligament damage against Missouri. Nebraska knew this was their year. But Ricky Dixon's third-quarter interception brought the Huskers back to reality. And Patrick Collins sent them into a familiar nightmare. OU 17, Nebraska 7.
I want to tell you something. They talk about Sooner magic and luck and all that. I want to tell you something. For 4 quarters, this football team dominated them, offensively and defensively, the whole ball game. I tell you what. Everybody and every coach gets a game ball.
OU versus Miami. 2 teams with perfect records playing in the Orange Bowl for the national championship. Miami set the tone of the game early, taking a 7-0 lead. Just before halftime, Anthony Stafford outran the Hurricane defense to the corner of the end zone. At the half, OU 7, Miami 7. But the Canes owned the third quarter, scoring 10 unanswered points. With 2 minutes left to play, Mark Hudson lived an offensive lineman's dream, even an All-American guard's dream, scoring a touchdown on a trick play. But time had run out on OU's dream of a 7th national title in '87. Miami 20, OU 14. The post-game talk reflected the class Barry Switzer has demonstrated, win or lose, throughout his career.
Always be that in life. You can always be disappointed in some situations. I'm proud of you, proud of the effort you gave. Our defense played their guts out, didn't make enough first downs, all those things. They had a great kicking game. Just didn't work our way. They're a great football team. Give them credit. We're a great football team. We had a great year, and you have nothing to be ashamed of, man.
Well, I think that, you know, obviously I've got to be happy with what we've been able to accomplish, our coaches and our players. Our program is #1 in the country in winning. I look to the future. I want it to be the same. You never know what the future holds, but I think that we'll work toward accomplishing those same things that allowed the past to be what the past was, and hopefully the future can be the same.
The list of Barry Switzer's All-Americans helps reflect the success he has had as head coach. While Barry continues to write chapters to this book, people will continue to marvel about Sooner magic and the man who holds the wand, Barry Switzer.